In this video, we will talk about Bionano Genomics, trading under the code Bngo. So over the past day and so, if you were a shareholder of Bngo, you probably felt some very contradicting and equally intense feelings. First of all, the company released their Q4 financial results, and they beated their own expectations. But then, the next thing we saw is that the stock price tanked, almost as a reaction of this news. Please watch this video until the end, especially if you hold Bionano Genomics shares or plan to do so. We will talk about the fundamental reasons why the stock is reacting to such an alarming manner and what is probably going to happen over the next month and years. Bionano Genomics is a startup that does researches in genetic mappings and really began to take off in 2020 because the scientific community commends the company for being able to detect different diseases in an affordable and efficient manner. Ever since then, Bionano Genomics stock has taken off, with its stock price more than 10x since where it was back in 2020, which was in the penny stock territories. Over the past day or so, Bionano Genomics released their Q4 2020 results, and the investors really liked what they saw. The company's revenue increased by 43% on a year-over-year basis, and it also has doubled its cash reserves compared to the year-end of 2019. Now, this is very important because Bionano Genomics is still a company that relies on funding its operations through other means than operation income. In other words, if it runs out of cash, that's the real game over for this company. It's not the losses. So if it has double its cash reserves in 2020 compared to 2019, it means that it really has a better outlook than at any point of time before. The more important fact is that Bionano Genomics has more than quadrupled the Sapphire system installations in 2020, from 24 back in 19 to 97 in 20. So with all that being said, aren't investors supposed to expect a stock price charging upward? I mean, isn't this what stocks do when results beat their expectations? For example, if we look at the stock results of NIO, didn't people basically just bet on if they were going to beat the deliveries expectations and then see the stock taking off? Well, it certainly didn't happen here. Not this time, at least. There are several reasons for this, and we will go through each of them. First of all, Bionano Genomics decided to do a stock offering totaling $350 million. That decision obviously dilutes down the existing shareholders, so that can explain part of the decrease. The other reason is regarding the stock market in general. The current market mood, I think, has gone more skeptical compared to how things were back in 2020, which, by the way, makes complete sense if we take a step back and just think about it. The economy has been in a complete lockdown and is gonna probably take some time to recover back to where things were in the year end of 2019. In the meantime, many stocks saw their values skyrocketing. This is probably the only time in my recollection ever since the internet bubble when we saw such a density of miracle stocks that just went from penny stocks to billions in market cap. So it's not surprising that many are wondering when this game of financial Jenga is gonna end and who would be holding the bag after the music stops. Of course, this doesn't apply to every single stock. Actually, in the case of Bionano, the company actually has a lot of value and growth potential. It's not just a miracle stock. But the human psyche works in such a way that whenever there is a bullish run in the market, there will be an increasing tendency to lock in the profit instead of just letting it run. This actually happened in the past as well. For any of you holding highly on shares, maybe you were scratching your head back in fall of 2020 because the stock was in such a free fall and it never really got back to where it was. Well, I think that it's for the same or very similar reasons. At some point, the investor community believed that the stock went up too fast and didn't want to risk holding the bag at the top. So at this point, one question that is in your mind is probably like, what should you be doing with Bionano Genomics stock? Should you buy or sell it? So let's take a look at the chart. We are talking about a decline today, but really it has been falling for more than a month. Actually, the stock lost almost 50% of its value since the peak in February. All this while the stock is having no scandal, no Hindenburg research saying that it's a fraud, no whistleblower saying that they faked their results or anything like that. So my assumption is that the stock price is just following the flow from the rest of the market. And until it has a much more mature product line, in other words, a much stronger pull on itself, and the capacity to generate positive operating income and positive net income, Bionano Genomics shares are probably going to be affected more by the overall market than its own fundamentals. But why is that? Why are the fundamentals of this company a secondary thought in so many people's mind? Well, to put it simply, because the company has amazing presentations and articles about how great it's going to be in the future, but the market assumptions are that the present and the immediate future are going to more like having net losses year on year, quarter on quarter for at least another year or two. In the meantime, the quote-unquote amazingness of the company has already been largely publicized and I would say priced in the stocks. So this is why the company is going sideways and probably follow the flow of many other startups and SPACs in terms of where the market is dragged them for the foreseeable future. Now, and this is very important, many people will see this as a sign to avoid the stock like a pest. But if you believe that it truly has the potential to grow to a larger company in the future, then the current stock fall is really just an opportunity to average down your position. At this point, it's hard to predict where the bottom is going to be because from a price action perspective, the price is sitting on a significant support line. But really, the answer is we know where the bottom is behind us. So the best thing to do now is to gradually buy the Bionano Genomics shares in your portfolio as the stock keeps falling. I mean, if Bngo is as big as the scientific community claims that it's going to be, then the stock should be at least a few multiples from where it is now within a few years. Since the company has already proven that its ideas are the right ones and that it shows a positive growth, I would recommend a maximum exposure between 3 to 5% of your portfolio. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.